This is a good one right here. Dave Whidbey writes, T-Bone, I dabble in archery for about 45 years now and work at the local archery pro shop 2 days a week after my retirement just to have a fun job. I'm all about accuracy and hit what you shoot at, beats a fast arrow. But just curious, I figured my old 670 grain arrow at 185 feet per second and getting roughly 5 pounds of kinetic energy less than my new 420 grain arrows at 245 feet per second at the exact same bow weight. Different bows, but looks like a faster arrow flying flatter, and a faster gets more energy than my old setup. Seems lighter is better by 5 pounds. That's what he's saying. Well, let's discuss that a little bit. There's everybody goes by kinetic energy, and that is a good formula, and we've actually explained it in a couple of blogs before. But kinetic energy just measures how much energy is stored in that arrow. As far as measuring penetration, that's done by foot-pounds or how much momentum. I guess that's the best way of putting it. You measure the kinetic energy right as it leaves the bow. And yes, if you work things out, if you have a light arrow that's traveling fast and do the formula, it's going to have nearly about, or sometimes even more kinetic energy than a heavy arrow going slower. But what we're trying to achieve is penetration, so that we do massive damage to an animal, whether it be an elk, moose, deer, whatever, so that you get plenty of penetration. A good way of, let's go to the prop room. A good way to describe that is if you did the kinetic energy on this, if I took this ping pong ball and I threw it at 100 miles an hour and hit you with it, it would hurt a little bit, sting a little bit, but let's just say I took this brick and threw it at 50 mile an hour. I'd much rather get hit with a ping pong ball because it's going to lose its energy. It loses its momentum, and it doesn't have mass weight to continue and to drive. And that's why a heavier hammer hits harder. It's because of momentum and force, whereas kinetic energy dies quick. I may not be explaining that correctly because I'm just a redneck from Georgia, but I do understand the theory. I'm not a physicist, but I do know that getting hit with a ping pong ball at 100 miles an hour is a whole lot better than getting hit with a brick at 50 mile an hour. So therefore, that's why in all cases a heavier arrow is going to penetrate better than a light arrow. Even though you're getting the speed and the kinetic energy and the rule says it's still not going to penetrate as good. It's just going to be flatter trajectory. It does have a lot of energy, but it's going to die out quick. It's going to die real quick. So hope that shed a little light. Go get you a brick and get you a ping pong ball, and if you can talk your wife into it, let her hit you, let you hit her, and whichever one she screams louder with, which I'm sure it's going to be the brick, that's the one you go with. See you, man.